this meeting. And again, my name is Scott Wisely, and I want to thank you all very much for joining us today. And we are going through the Agile CRM Service Desk module within Agile CRM. So we'll start off, and if you take a look over at your screen and follow along with my cursor, up at the top left-hand corner, you're going to see the little hamburger up there, as some people like to call it. It's the 3 lines, and that will reveal the different sections within the Service Desk module. So we have several options for you in here. We've got the help desk, the knowledge base, live chat, the feedback option, configuring your groups, your labels, and automations, as well as the canned responses, views, activities, and reports. So you can access that by simply clicking on the little hamburger icon, as my favorite customer says up there. And if we make our way over to the right, we've got our global search function. So if you click on the magnifying glass, you can type just about anything you want in there, and Agile CRM will search throughout the program and find it for you. If anything from companies, documents, deals, tickets. And we also have the voice to text option. So I encourage everybody, when it's a Friday afternoon and your fingers are hurting from typing all week, click on that microphone there and just speak your search term. You also have your calendar options. So you got your calendar where you can manage all of your events. You've got your tasks, which is the next icon over. It looks like the alarm clock. And then this icon right here, it looks like the pie with some lines in it there. This will actually help you get everything set up in Agile CRM, and it actually gives you a little indicator of how well you're doing and how far along you're progressing as you're setting up each of the individual modules within Agile CRM. So you see we've got a little bit of work to do here. I got to set up my auto reply, and of course I've also got to go in there and invite some more users to find out all of the fantastic features of Agile CRM. In the center, we've got our module selector. So in Agile CRM, as part of your subscription, you do get access to all 3 modules. So we have the sales, the marketing, and the service module. And I want to point out to you all that here, each one of these words are actually hyperlinks. So if you want to click right to a particular section within a module of Agile CRM, all you have to do is just click on that word and it will actually take you right directly there. A lot of people don't realize that. So yeah, go in there and you can click right on the help desk or the knowledge base, the live chat, feedback, all these different sections. So just a little quickie tip there. Also, you'll see my live chat icon up at the top here. So this will let you know that that you've got some inbound live chats coming. So we're going to play around with that today as well. So I'll show you the live chat, and I will also include a handout of how to configure your live chat function within Agile. So we'll talk about it, and then I'll also give you a handout which you can download and grab that, because it is a great feature that we do have built in for all of our users. And then the next icon over there is our recents item. So that will contain the last 6 items that you touched there. So you can see my contacts, and I've touched a few tickets and a company in there. So as you're moving around through Agile CRM, make sure you use that recents button. It just saves you some typing and also helps you keep track of the last 6 items that you've touched within Agile CRM. And then our next button is our global add button. So you can add a contact, a company, a deal, events, tasks, notes, email, ticket, call, or a document, all from the push of one button within Agile CRM. And this top bar is available and seen throughout every screen within Agile CRM in every section. So you can easily get to that and continue working within Agile CRM very easily. And in the top right-hand corner, we've got our avatar. So when you call our wonderful and fantastic support team, they may tell you, hey, click on your avatar, click on your admin settings, or click on your settings, things like that. So we call this your avatar up there. One thing that I do like to tell everybody to do is make sure you put a real picture there, because this is your public side face that people will see on your online scheduling, and then also in the tickets as you're communicating back and forth. You will see an actual either an avatar, this cartoon looking face, or if you have a nice headshot of yourself, go ahead and load that up within Agile CRM. So just a little helpful tip for you. We're going to make our way back all the way over to the left-hand side here, and we're going to start right here in the word says service. So what we're looking at is your dashboard. So this is your one-stop shop to see what everything is going on, and you can get just a quick overview of your dashlets here. So each one of these squares are called dashlets, and you can go in here and customize these dashboards to meet your needs, and so you can see the things that you want to see. And I will point out to you, underneath the word service, or right next to it there on the right hand side, if you click on that little down arrow, that will allow you to actually create multiple dashboards. So maybe you want to have a dashboard just for yourself, and maybe you want to have a separate dashboard where you're monitoring maybe your team's activities or things like that. So go in there and play around and have some fun as you build out your dashboards within within Agile CRM. One thing I will point out to you as we're looking at these dashlets, if you click on the little wrench icon, so I'm just hovering, notice I just go over there and I hover at the top right-hand corner of each of the dashlets, you get that wrench icon. That wrench icon will allow you to go in and actually customize each of the dashlets. So you know what, I want to just see the last 30 days of ticket activity that has come in through our demo module here. So just so you all know, this is a demo version that we used for our training. So it's not going to be fully populated the way that you might expect. So, and you can also go in there and we can open up this date range and pick out the dates that we want to see within there. And then it'll go ahead, it refreshes and repopulates, and there you go. So again, just click on any of the dashlets that have a configuration option available. You can just click on the little wrench. And one thing that I did want to point out to everybody as well, a lot of people don't realize this. You see the three little bars here, also known as the hamburger icon. If you click on that on anything within Agile CRM, whether it's in the dashlets or within the reports, you'll be able to go in there and actually print the chart. You could download it as a JPEG or a PNG, or even download the underlying data in a CSV or XLS format. So if you're looking at one of these charts, you're like, hey, I got to report this out to my boss. Well, go ahead and click on that. See, I just hover, and then you can click, and then you can download that as an XLS or as a image file. So you can put that maybe in one of your PowerPoint presentations and brag about all the great work that you're doing with Agile CRM. And we've got a quick option to go over here underneath your avatar to add a dashlet. So if you click on that add dashlet option, it brings up a new menu. And as I hover, it actually shows what a little preview of what each one of those dashlets will look like once it gets onto your dashboard. So you can determine, hey, is this the right one that I want to have? One option that I always tell everybody to do is put your account info on there. So go ahead and just click on the add and throw that account info on there, because what that does is it's going to populate the information about your particular account. So you can see that I've got the enterprise level, which is our best level. And I encourage everybody to upgrade to the enterprise level. You get the most features and the most flexibility with our enterprise version. It tells you how many users you have, and then also who's your account rep. So you can just click on that little schedule a call with your account rep if you have questions about upgrading or other things pertaining to your accounts. So definitely, go in there and pick out the dashlets that you want to use within Agile CRM. So now the moment we've all been waiting for, let's click on over to the help desk. So this is where the money hits the road and where you get to see all of the tickets that come in through Agile CRM. So we're going to take a look at this screen, and then we're going to go into a deep dive of actually working with one of the tickets. So, well, let's get ourselves familiar with this page alone right here. So on the left-hand side, these are all your different users that are within Agile CRM that have access to the help desk or the service desk module. And then you've got your different groups that you've set up within the this particular section. So keep in mind, you always add users into groups. So you assign users into groups. That way you can go in there and look at them. We've got our labels, we've got our created date, due dates. So these are all filtering options. These are how you can go in and actually take this whole list of, well, we've got 277 tickets in here, 267 tickets that we've got to work on. So this is how you would break them down and actually get these into a little bit more manageable of a size. So the first thing we're going to do here is I want to go in and I want to break these tickets down. So I'm going to create my own filter using this view. So I think I only want to see just my tickets. And I could also select a group if I wanted to. And I could go in there and I could type in labels that maybe I only want to see any ticket that's labeled with an SLA miss, or maybe a product update or invoicing, or maybe that's been escalated, something like that. I can also search these out by their created dates. So maybe I only want to see the ones that were created the past week. So I can go in there and filter out my time. And then I can also say, hey, I want to see all of my tickets that are due by tomorrow. So maybe you want to say, hey, these are my top priority tickets that I got to get wrapped up before they go into an overdue status. But I don't need to see my closed tickets. So I'm going to take the close, and just notice I click on the little box there and I either select or deselect it, and give it a second for it to refresh there. And so now you can see all of just my open tickets that I have here. And you can also sort them out by the priority, whether they're low, medium, or high, and then by the different incidents or types of tickets that you have as well. So you've got two options down at the bottom, so you can clear out all of those filtered options, or you can click on the Save As. So if you click on the Save As, you get a little pop-up window here that allows you to save this view. So remember, we're just looking at just Scott's tickets. So I'm going to go in there and call these Scott's webinar tickets. That way we'll know when we look at them. and then you can click on the save button. And now that's going to save that view so that you can pull this view back up in the future. So now you see that it's applied that filter, and up at the top here it says these are all of Scott's webinar tickets. And then we've got all the different other ones that we've created. One thing that I do like to point out to everybody is that if you look at the right-hand side here, this tells you how many tickets that you have in each of these categories. So you can go through there and actually say, hey, look, I've got, 267 of them are for the Disney company, or I've got, 277 open and untouched, or 0 new tickets. So that's always a good thing. If you click on the little filter icon there, that will actually hide your filtered view. So now you can sort of get yourself a little bit more real estate on your screen there and see a little bit more of what's going on within the service desk module here under the help desk section. So you just click it again and that'll bring out your filtered views. And I'll be honest with you all, I typically work with this view here because we do work in multiple queues, and maybe you want to also be able to jump in and help my buddy Jeff out so I can click his tickets and say, hey Jeff, I'll help you with some of your tickets. So it gives you some good visibility. So go in there and play around and filter these views out the way that works best for you. Our next stop is the sorting option here. So our sorting option, if you drop down that little drop down there, that will show you, maybe you want it by the time that it was last updated, or maybe by the last time that the ticket was created, or the priority, or the due date, or the requester. So you can go in there and sort those out. And then you can also sort those out by ascending or descending. So select however you want to see those, and maybe you want to see them in an ascending order. And you see there that it's going to go ahead and go in and refresh that view for you. And now we're looking at them in the oldest to newest view there. So just a little way for you to play around and really help you organize yourself as you go through there and start knocking out some of the tickets. You got your indicators up at the top here that show you we've got 0 new tickets. Woohoo, that's a great thing. Not lots of great new tickets coming in, which is good. That gives us a chance to work on those 262 open tickets. And we've got 5 of them that have been touched or in the pending status. So watch those indicators here, because once you do, then you'll be able to keep track of all of the work that you have to do. And notice that we're looking at showing 50 of 162 tickets in this view. So you click on the refresh button, and that will also refresh your view to see if anything new has come in. Give it a second and it refreshes your view right there. So we see no new tickets have come in, and as you scroll down, that number will increase. So I have my view set to show 50 lines at a time, and that's really just so that you don't get overwhelmed and looking at all the tickets all at once there. Take it in little bite-sized pieces as you go along. So over the top left-hand corner here, just next to the word assignee, if you click on that, that's how you can select multiple tickets and start working these things out. So what you could do is you can actually start doing some bulk actions. So up at the top here, these are all of your bulk actions that you can do with your tickets within the help desk section. So maybe I could change these assignees. Let's go ahead and do that. You know what? Jeff hasn't been too busy here lately, and I think I'm going to go ahead and give him about 50 of these tickets, because Jeff and I work real well together. So I just went in there, and just like that, I've clicked 50 of those tickets, and I've sent them over to my good buddy Jeff to help me out with those. I'll go ahead and select some more again, and I can send those into a workflow or an automation. So we'll go into that a little bit later here in the demonstration, but we do have workflows that you can set up, automations or campaigns. They're all interrelated, those words. So those workflows are how we can actually start to work the tickets, maybe get some automatic labels on them, maybe set the priorities, things like that. So we'll go through and take a look at those in just a few minutes. You can also manage the labels with these tickets. So we can go in there and say, hey, these are all delivery issues. So we'll just go ahead and add that label onto there. So now that we know that all of these tickets, and you can go in there and actually select tickets individually. So as you're looking at these subject lines here and you're working on these tickets, you say, hey, you know what? These right here, maybe I need to put a label on those that it's a bug fix issue. So you click on the bug fix label, and now it's going to add those tags to those particular tickets right there. You can go in there and select all of them. So if you're having a really bad day and you're like, you know what, I don't need to do any more work, just click on close and they're all gone and your work's done and you can go home. I'm just kidding. You can also delete the tickets, and then using the drop down option here where it says more, you can go in there and you can mark those as favorite tickets or mark them as spam. So let's talk about that for just a second. So people say, hey Scott, why would I mark a ticket as a favorite? So maybe you're working in one day and there was a credit card issue and you're seeing that a lot of tickets are coming in that are talking about credit cards. So maybe you want to mark any of those credit card issues as favorites. That way you can come back in and look at just your favorite tickets and work those all at once, so that maybe you can say, hey, after we've resolved that issue, now I've got all of those tickets related to that specific issue that I've marked favorite. I've got those all organized real quickly there, so you can quickly and easily work on those. And then that's again where maybe you could go in and set up an automation or select a bunch of them and then throw them into an automation and close those out real quick and easy for you. Also marking them as spam. So one of the things that we'll be talking about in just a few minutes is that when you set up Agile CRM's service desk option and the help desk section here, you actually are setting up an email address. So a lot of times people will put a link on their website that says, maybe support@yourcompany.com. So when the customer clicks on that, it actually opens up their email window, and then they can go in there, they can type their subject such as, hey, have a question about your new features. They put their information in the body, and that's what actually creates these tickets. So because it is email based, sometimes you get those spam requests that come in. So you can go in there and you can quickly and easily mark them as spam as well. So we'll make our way all the way over to the right now. We're down again below the avatar. And if you hover over those three dots, that will allow you to select which columns you want to actually view in the list view of the help desk section here. So you can go in there, maybe you want to see just the due dates. You want to throw those due dates in there, and hey, look, we don't have any that are due. That's great. But again, hover, don't click. Hover over those three dots, and once that menu appears, then you can go in there and you can start, taking out different fields that you want, looking at different fields that you want to see. So set up your view the way you like to do it, and that'll help you work the easiest way. Now, if I click on those three dots, watch what happens. It changes my view, so it gives me a three-line view of each of those tickets. So now I can see the assignee, the status, and the priority. I can also see the subject line and the ticket number, who the creator is, and also how long ago it was created. Boy, I've got a lot of work to do here. Notice as I'm hovering over where it says created, if I let my mouse just sit there for a second, it's actually going to give you the specifics of that particular ticket. So we can see that ticket was actually created December 11th of 2017 at 9:41 in the morning. So pick out the view that you like the best. Go ahead, apply your filters and sort them out and figure out the way that you like to view your tickets quickly and easily within there. So let's go in and take a deep dive into one of our tickets here. So I'm going to take a look at ticket number 372. Let's get to work. So after I click on the ticket, it opens up our ticket view for that particular trouble ticket. So let's take a look at the top here. So we got our ticket number, which is ticket number 372. Then we've got our arrows, our left and right arrows, which will allow us to go and work tickets just one at a time right through there. So you can just click right through. So let's go back to ticket 372. So that's your directional way to actually get through those. And then this is your contact. If you click on the contact, it's going to go in there and it's going to show me that that contact has been deleted. But you can also click on that contact and it will open up the contact record. So you can now look at that particular contact and build out the information on them. If you look down just below, it shows you all the previous tickets for that particular user as well. So now you've got, as you're looking at this ticket, you're getting a nice insight as to the number of tickets that one user has there. So maybe you can see if there's a recurring issue that's happening there. And this particular user has 392 tickets, so that's why it's taken a little bit of time for it to populate there. You can see who the assignee of that particular ticket is. If you use the drop down, well, again, I'm going to hand it right over to my buddy Jeff. So you see that I can just go in there and select who I want to give that ticket to. And then you have an option here where it says take it. So maybe Jeff went in there, he put his comments in. He's a good guy. He knows how to work these tickets. So he went in there and he worked that ticket. Oh boy, look at all those tickets that showed up there. And so maybe Jeff's done his work on those. And so he could click on, once he's done, I can just click on take it and then bring that right back in. We've also got your carbon copy option here. So anybody that's carbon copied on this email, so you can go in there and CC somebody and just add their email address that is listed. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself in there. That way I get the updates when Jeff is working on that ticket. And then I can always go back in there and give it a second to populate. And then we can also, let's set that due date. So I think I'm going to need about 3 days to work that. So I'm just going to hit the +3 and notice that it goes in there and it says now it's due on April the 9th of 2018 at just before midnight. So we'll have plenty of time to work on that. And the status is now pending because we've been working on it and we know that this is a problem The priority is low, and it's a delivery issue because we've got that label down there. So we'll scroll back up to the top, and boy, I got to work with this customer to make sure they don't get so many tickets in the future. You can also hit that minus, and that will take that view away so we can work with it a little bit easier. So now we'll go in here. We're going to start working on this ticket. We're going to say, thank you for your inquiry. We are working your issue. And then you can simply click send reply. And away it goes. So now it sent that reply back to the user, and you have just worked that ticket, and now it's in the pending status. So when you click on the reply, it does automatically move it into the pending status. I do want to show that you can also attach a file in there. So you can go in and you can, maybe you have like a help document that you use within your help desk, or maybe you've got some more product information. So you can go in there and we'll grab that live chat. Where's that live chat document? There it is. We'll grab that live chat document. We can attach that to the email and send that away. And so that's how you work it. If you click on the notes option here, this is the private notes. So as you're working on this, I could maybe put a note on here that says, Jeff is working and will follow up with customer. So these notes are privately viewed. So this does not send a response back to the contact. So that's how, as maybe your group is working these tickets, encourage them to use that notes option. And then they can go in there and they can simply click on the add note, and that'll add the note. But if you look at the right-hand side, you could also add note and close the ticket. So we're going to add the note and close the ticket. Here we go. And we're working our way right through all of these tickets, if you notice. So we're going to also have the option to forward this ticket. So you can forward this ticket over to somebody. Maybe it's another department or a group, or maybe it's your product team, or maybe it's your sales support team. So yeah, really think about how you could use this help desk system to come in and really help drive your business. So you have that option. So you can forward that over, just type in the information, and then that could get worked that way. If you look over on the right-hand side down here, you can also click on the show timeline, and that will show you the history of this ticket. So you can hide those activities, or you can show the timeline, which will show you how this ticket has progressed along. So right now you can see it was touched 4 months ago, and 8 minutes ago, I added the bug fix label on there. So it gives you sort of a timeline view, sort of like within our contacts, that 360 view as well. So you'll be able to just simply click on that. And if you show the comments, then it takes you back to that original view. All right, so let's take a look up at the top here. So you could take this ticket and move it right into a different workflow. So you could say, hey, you know what? I need this ticket to go into this particular automation or workflow that I've set up, because I know that it's a recurring issue. So it's going to go in there, and we can maybe have it go in and work on one of these particular workflows or campaigns. You can also merge the tickets. So we could go in there and say, hey, you know what? This particular user has ticket number 372. So we'll go in there. I'm merging that ticket. So I click on 372, click on the go, and now it shows you the ticket that it wants to merge with. And it gives you a little view here so that you can see, all right, yep, this is the right person. Yep, that's the same one. And I click on the merge, and now it's going to merge those two tickets together. And that's really a great way to help you manage these tickets as they come in. So think about using that merge option. It's a little bit better than using the close ticket option, because what it does is it automatically closes that old ticket, but then you get to actually see that history in that timeline view there. So really think about, hey, do I want to go in, especially if you have duplicate tickets? So think about that. Do I want to go in there and just type in duplicate, close, or do I want to go in there and merge those tickets? That way I get that timestamp on there to show who's actually done what with that particular ticket. So yeah, that is your merge function up here at the top. It's the two little arrows that come together there. So you can also, again, there you can mark that as a favorite. So just using that little star icon there. So again, maybe that's one of those issues that we've been working on that we talked about earlier. Mark that as a favorite. You can mark it as private so that nobody else will see that ticket. So maybe this is something where maybe you had a cranky customer, or maybe somebody put some sensitive information within that email, and you want to make sure that you protect that data as best as you can. So use that mark as private option. You can add it as spam. You can delete that ticket. You can close that ticket, and then you can also enable your widget view on the side here. So we do have widget views within the service desk module within the help desk section here. So as you see right now, it's populating up and it's going to show all my widget views. So we use Twilio as one of our integrations, but this does give you a lot of great information. So think about those widgets that you want to enable within Agile CRM. So that is your ticket view, and that's how you work a ticket. Let's go in there and we're going to close this one out. I think we've got so many of these. We'll close that one out, and look, it's moving right along to the next ticket. So you click on your envelope again, and it takes you right back out, and here's all of those tickets. So you can start working them one by one there. So go ahead and send me in your questions. I know I flew through the tickets really quickly there. So if I went too fast for you, just send me over a question. I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions at the end. Another great feature built into Agile CRM within our service module is the knowledge base. So you can go in there, you can actually build out your own knowledge base. So if you click on the access button up here by the word knowledge base, click on access, that will actually show you what it looks like. So now we've got all of our different, we've got our categories and then our sections within the knowledge base, and people can go in there and they can say, hey, I've got a billing question, and they can type up, and oh, we don't have any articles. That's okay, no problem. So it's a great feature that we have built in there because this will help eliminate maybe all those extra tickets. So as you start building out your help desk and you're starting to see those reoccurring things, maybe somebody's got a billing question, maybe somebody's got a question about support, or maybe just a general question, you can go in there and use your knowledge base, publish that out, link it up on your website, and then people can very easily get in there to your knowledge base and do some of that self-help that's quite popular today. So a few things to remember. So we build categories, sections, and then articles. So right now we're looking at our categories list. To add a category, let's just say we're going to build a category out here for new products. How about new product info? And we put a little description in there, and we'll just say this is new products coming to market. So always put those descriptions in there because that really helps you as you're going through, especially as you're working through these different categories and sections. Mark as private means that what that will do is allow you to keep that private so nobody can see that while you're still building it out. So we do this here at Agile CRM when we're building out our knowledge base articles, because we go through and we have a couple of different people that actually review the instructions and the categories and the sections just to make sure that we're giving you the best possible information. So mark that as private until it's final and it's ready to be published. But at this time, I'm just going to show you guys how it looks. So now we've got our new product info. So now we can click on new product info, this category, and let's start building a section. So our new sections are going to contain, let's just say, how about our new, we'll just do software. And we'll just say these are our new software pieces that are coming out. It's under the new product category. It's visible to all or to the admin. So that means that who you can actually restrict that view to. We're going to save the changes. Let's add another one. So now maybe we're going to put a category of hardware under here. So this is new hardware section that we're putting in there. Boy, you can tell it's getting towards the end of the week because I can't type. There we go. Click on the save button, and let's just see. And maybe we'll do one more in here. So maybe we'll add a section that says updates. That way, when everybody goes in there, they can sort of break this down to see all the different updates that are happening under our new product info. All right, so now we've got our sections, and notice you can go in there, and as I hover, I can click on that little pencil icon and edit that up. Maybe I made a typo. And then you can also use your drag selection option here. So maybe you could reorder these. Maybe you want them in alphabetical order. So maybe I need to put my updates down there. So you see, I can just click and drag those down. So now let's start building out our actual different articles. So under the hardware section there, I'm going to add an article, and we're going to call our new hardware options. And you go in here and you could add pictures, you can preview it, you can add source code. So for those of you that are really handy with HTML code, go in there and just copy and paste. And a lot of people ask me, hey, Scott, we've already had sort of these documents that were all mishmashed all together in different places. Can we just copy and paste those in? Well, sure you can. Just go in there, copy and paste that information. So use that copy and paste function to go in and save yourself some time and save your fingers a little bit of extra work there as you're doing it. And then once again, it's in the hardware section, And you could mark that private. So maybe, again, maybe your supervisor or maybe your hardware team wants to take a look at it before it's fully available. You see, you mark it as, and then we'll save that. And now we're starting to build out all of our different articles. So again, you click on add article, and maybe we're going to say upcoming hardware. And this is where you would describe all of your different new products that are coming out. So pretty easily, and we made it really simple and fun to use because, again, put pictures, put links, and really put some good effort into there, because the more effort you put into it, the better experience it's going to be for your customers. So let's go back. We're going to click on that access button, and if I did everything right, we are now going to see that new product info. And look, it shows me that there's 2 hardware documents, there's no software documents, and there's no documents under the update. So we'll click on the hardware, and now we can see the different topics. And here you go. And this, look at this. Now we can rate that. We can say, hey, give it a thumbs up. And we can go in there and say, my name is Scott. And we'll put in my information. And that just allows people to go back through there and actually see the comments that maybe it was helpful, or maybe you need to do a little bit more extra work on that so that you can actually see exactly where we can make some improvements on our knowledge base articles there. So that's the knowledge base for you. So again, it looks like the person reading the book icon there. One last thing I do want to show you is if you click on the settings button, you can actually go in, and under the landing pages, you can actually create your own templates. So if you remember when we look at this page here and you see that it's got sort of like this nice background and the search thing, well, use your landing pages section, which is in the marketing module. You'll see the knowledge base section in there. So you can go in there and build out something. Maybe you're in the food business, or maybe you're in the software business, or maybe you're in the medical industry. So you can go in there and play around and really customize that look of that page so that it matches your industry. And then last but not least, you can also add your own URL in there. So if you want to just build this knowledge base right into your URL, and you can give it a custom subdomain and then just put it right on your domain there so that everybody can easily and quickly grab to your knowledge base. Live chat, here we go. Everybody wants to know about the live chat. So live chat, this is where all the live chats are recorded. So as you go through and we're doing those live chats, you'll be able to actually see where they are. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to open up my bookmarks bar here so I can take you guys over. I'm going to open up a new window, and we're going to take a look at my website. So this is my test website that I'm opening up here. And if you look down at the lower right-hand corner, see that little icon? It's a little blue icon. Give everybody a chance to see it. Oh, there's my pop-ups coming in. All right, so you click on that, and it says, welcome to support. So write your query here. I have a question. So this is how the live chat will work. Now, this does recognize me, so that it's not going to ask me now for my email address, but anybody that's new that comes in, it does ask for an email address, and it will add them as a contact into Agile CRM. That way you can keep track of them. So you see, you get the autoresponder that says, hey, thank you for reaching us, and how may I help you? And then you can also go in there and you can put your email address in if you want, but it recognizes me because I've got the cookie on mine. So let's see here. I'm going to put my information in so we can see how that works. Click on the little arrow, and there it is. Once I've done that, it gets the autoresponder. Our agents typically reply within 5 minutes. Please wait while your query is answered. So we're going to go back over to my window here so we can take a look. And up at the top, there's that indicator. Look all the way at the tippy top up here. You see that 1 by the little live chat icon. So you take a look at that. And you can see my incoming chats are on enabled because I've got it enabled here. And then you get to see the list of people that are coming in that have a chat question. So it tells you the contact's name, and it gives you the subject line that they put in, or that first question they put in. So let's click on that and see how it works. So you click on the live chat there, and it shows you all the details about that particular user. So the name, their email address, their client, and what was their initial question that they typed in there. And then you can also see a little map, because that gives you a good idea maybe what time zone they're in and which maybe metro market they're located in. So then you can go in there and you accept the chat. And now you can just simply type as the agent and go back in there. Hi, we are happy to help. And you know what? Use the emojis. We'll go in there and send them a little happy face. So let's go back over and take a look at that response. And you see that the tab is, clicking and blinking up there so that you can see, so that you type back, you say, oh, let's see, what is your newest products coming to market? And then they can go in there and they can put in their own emoji. So we'd like to try to make this a fun and personal experience. And we'll go back over again and see how that looks on this side. Also notice that when I click on this name, Scott Wisely, look, I can take it right over. And as the agent is chatting in that chat window, we can go through there and see all the things that have happened with this particular contact. I click on my timeline, things like that, and see. So now you've got that quick and easy access for you to go in there and actually work with that particular contact, see the histories, maybe see the emails and the documents and the tickets that are associated. So now you can see all those tickets there. So just again, click on that name and that will take you over to the contact record right there. So that is a hyperlink. Okay, and then we're going to say, we have great ones. Bye. So we'll send that response back over and we'll tell them, oh, thanks a lot. That was really helpful information. Now they have the option to give that feedback. And notice you do have some icons here where you can, again, you can do that emoji, you can attach a file. So maybe they have a screenshot or maybe an invoice or something like that so the end user could put that in. And this was a great chat. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And there we go. So we like to be able to offer that option for everybody to go in there and provide that feedback, because we're going to go into that feedback section in just a second and take a look at it. So, and it tells you that Scott's closed that out. And here we go. We're going to refresh this window and let's see what that feedback was. Okay, so they've got, I got a question. Oh, good. I got a thumbs up on there. So here it is. It's keeping that log of the chat. So we click on the chat transcript there, and now it shows you all the information. So you can see the pictures of who they did, all the details, and then here's the chat log. So you can go back through there. Maybe see, hey, do we need to, put a knowledge base article together that talks about our new products, just like we did before. So that is live chat. Really a lot of fun to do and easy to do as well. And like I said, I'm going to throw that live chat document at the end of the webinar here. And I see you've got a good question. Thanks a lot, Heather, for sending me over your question. We'll jump on that in just a second. So let's go over and click on the feedback icon, because this is all of the feedback that has happened. Then we can just use our drop down there and say, let's see all the feedback that has happened on tickets. So this is your ticket feedback. So maybe you only want to see the good feedback on a ticket or the bad feedback, or maybe you want to see just by the billing groups. So as contacts go in there and they give you that feedback, that thumbs up or that thumbs down, that will actually populate this feedback here. And that's really just a great way for you to go in and deep dive and manage how your operations are actually working. Our next stop is the groups. So this is how you go in and you can configure all of the groups that are being used for the different the help desk section in here. So you click on add group. We're going to create a new group. We're going to call this the webinar group. And I'm going to add my buddy Jeff. I'm going to put Joe and myself in this group. Now we're going to send this email because when it replies back, we're going to have it go as support@webinar.com. How about that? And then you also can select a email template that's used, and there's where you get that enable feedback option. So that way, when those tickets are going back and forth, that allows the end user to use the thumbs up or the thumbs down. So we click on that. And there's our webinar group. Here is your email forwarding address. So you simply click on that and then go over to your email boxes, create a new email box and say forward all the email to this long agile training with all of these numbers here, blah, blah, blah. Just click on that and then add that into the forwarding, and that will activate the help desk section for you. All right, so let's take a look at the labels. So this is where you can build out all those labels for your different tickets. So maybe we have one that's maybe a new product one. So we're just building out all the different options within the help desk section there under the help desk. Our canned responses. So let's talk a little bit about the canned responses. So if you have a standard response that you do, and you saw that when I was working that first ticket, I put in there, hey, it was great to get your ticket and blah, blah, blah. So you can also create canned responses that will go in there, and then the agents can go in and very quickly and easily grab those canned responses and respond very easily. You can also build out additional views here. So you could click on one of these views and you could say, hey, you know what, I need to change this or take that out. So that's how you go in there and actually modify those views again. And then in the advanced option, this will allow the ticket number to be in the subject there. And so you click on the labels again, this shows you, this is the labels on the left-hand side that shows you that. And here we go to our automation. So this is one of the things that I love the most about Agile CRM is all these great automations. So let's build one out real quickly here. Let's just say that the ticket is closed. How about that? So we're going to build out an automation. So whenever a ticket is closed, so when the ticket gets closed, we're going to add, let's see, let's do some fun things here. So maybe we'll add a label. And again, you can add labels of whatever you'd like and just build those out. And we're going to say it was a delivery issue, for example. And you can go in there and just connect it. And maybe now we'll take that priority and we'll set it as low. And you can see how easily I can build out an automation to start working with those tickets. And maybe we'll change the status to closed. So you could go in there and you just pick these nodes, pull them onto your canvas, and figure out how you want these tickets to be worked. And don't forget that we have up here at the top, we've got the 1 and the 2, and then you always have your add more option down here as well. So a lot of times people will use maybe the assignee or an email group, email the user. These are all the different actions that you can take as you're building out that workflow automation to handle those tickets. And remember, we had that option to throw it into a workflow. So I can simply take a ticket, throw it into the closed ticket workflow flow, add a label on it, set the priority as low, and the status as closed, and that automatically happens there for us. If you click on the canned responses, again, those are those automatic responses that you can just simply select on the ticket, drop those in there, and 1, 2, 3, you've replied back to that contact. And your views option, again, so these are a little bit duplicate, but we also like to have them individual here because if you're working real quickly, you're like, hey, I just need to be able to adjust my view, go in there and do that. And then you've got your activities view. So your activities view will show you all of the activities that have been happening within your service desk module based on the users. So the users within Agile CRM. So you can see that Scott, hey, he went in, he merged this ticket. Okay, he closed a ticket, and you can break it down by users. You can break it down by time frames, and you can even look at maybe just your automations or your contacts or your users or the tickets. So go in there and use those activities views to really help you refine and get that information into a little bit more of a digestible format for you. And our last stop is down at the reporting. So I love reporting because why? Well, that way you can go in there and actually see what is happening. And so we're just looking at our tickets view here, and we can say, hey, let's just take a look at all of the anybody that's in the billing group. And let's say, oh, they haven't had many tickets come in. And we're going to say by the monthly view, and we'll see closed. So nobody, let's see how many tickets were all closed in a daily view. And we'll say over the last 30 days. So you'll see that, hey, we got some work to do here. And again, don't forget that hamburger view because you can go in there and download that picture. You can download it as a CSV or an XLS file and get all the data behind there. You can see your total public replies. You can see by your agent response time. So you can take a look and see how quickly is everybody responding, and you can break that down to see what they're actually doing. How about an SLA report? So a lot of times people like to go in there and say, hey, I need to have all of my tickets closed within X amount of days. That's how we deliver quality service. So go through there and you can actually start looking at the live chat performance. So you can see the total chats for this particular agent, their average response time, their average call duration, things like that. And you can export that out to Excel. And you got your knowledge base, so you can see maybe your total article counts. So you can see we're building out, oh, we got 6 categories, we got 13 sections, and 12 articles. So go through there and use those different reports to refine and get that information that you're looking for. And then again, for our enterprise plan users, you can also schedule reporting. So maybe you want that report to come out to you. And let's just go ahead and say, hey, you know, we want to take a look at those automation reports, add a report in there. And we want the requester name to be Scott. And select the automation for the low priority, send the report to me. And the duration, we'll have it go there every once daily, and we'll set my time zone. Don't forget to set your time zone, everybody, when you go through there. And I'm not in the Pacific time zone, I'm in the Eastern time zone. And I want it to come to me every morning at 10. And there we go. So now we can get that report automatically sent to me each day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and it's going to give me the reporting on the low priority ticket automation. So